Hello and welcome to Down and Dirty with Darci. I'm your host, Darci Smith, also known as Career Coach Darci. We are here to get down and dirty about careers, uncovering salaries, wild stories, backgrounds, and more from guests with some of the most eccentric professions each week. This podcast is presented by Onomy. Welcome back to Down and Dirty with Darci. Today we have Harley. Harley is a science major turned fitness trainer turned full-time content creator, social media coach, and an owner of a social media agency called All Influence. She is an Aries. She loves latte art, although she's not great at it.
Sorry.
And she can walk you through the greatest Instagram reel transition you've ever seen, but I think she's retired from that. She's also an amazing friend, mentor, a creative, a dog mom to the fourth cutest dog in the world, because I have 3. Welcome to the podcast, the Harley Jordan. Let's get down and fucking dirty.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, I'm a multi-hyphenate.
Yes. Oh, and she has a podcast.
I do too much. I don't know when to stop.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here. So we chat pretty much every day. If not, well, so I don't know where we're going to start.
We're basically best friends, so go
basically.
ahead.
Okay, but here's my first question. Take us back to the beginning of your career. I know, personally, I know that you had some time in the roofing business, so definitely talk to us about that. But obviously you started as a science major, so walk us through what the heck happened.
Yeah, so in college, I started as an exercise science major, and I thought I was going to go into PT, then OT, then I thought I would work in a lab, and I was planning on going to dietetic school, so I had all of the prereqs to, go through the motions of, doing a gap year and then applying to the next step. And after I got out of school, I started working at a startup, a celebrity training facility. And I was like, you know what? I'm in business operations and that doesn't feel like it relates, but those soft skills and those hard skills are it's really kind of crazy how it does relate. So my ability to take the body and make it more efficient really did relate to making the body more efficient and those lessons that I learned in my textbooks. So I was working at that company for a while. And
you were doing business operations.
I was doing business operations.
Place. Okay.
Yeah. And I really I hit a ceiling. I hit a ceiling and I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter my industry. I'm gonna take it to the extreme.
Right.
At this point, it doesn't matter my industry. Soft skills all the way.
Slide
right?
in, Darci.
Slide in, Darci.
I think, did I reach out to you on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, shout out LinkedIn.
Shout out LinkedIn.
So I found Harley, I think it was because I saw that you were an athlete. You did cheerleading in school.
Yep.
Or growing up till school, right? Some point in your life,
Yep.
It's too much. And I reached out to you. I saw you were doing business operations, and I was like, hey, let's meet up for coffee and chat about what your next steps are.
Yep.
Right? Is that okay?
Yep. And it took a long time for us to actually meet because I don't think I was necessarily committed to leaving yet. So we had like a long flirting session.
Right, we did. I don't know if you trusted me quite yet. It wasn't until we met where you're like, okay, she's somewhat normal.
I just don't think I understood what a recruiter was.
Yeah. No, that's so fair. I think, and there's so many, we could go on a tangent about this, but there's so many recruiters that don't do a good job and ghost and all the things. So yeah, when I reached out to you, you're probably like, what does she possibly have for me?
Also, my LinkedIn wasn't updated. I was probably the antithesis to everything that you do now.
Right. So we finally meet and kind of go through what you were really good at organization, project management, all those soft skills that we talked about. And I had an opportunity to basically work in business operations at a roofing company.
Yeah.
So tell us about how she got the job easily.
I did, in fact, get the job at the roofing company, and I don't speak Spanish. I was working in a predominantly Spanish-speaking area, and what I thought it was going to be and what you thought it was going to be was this management training program. And in my head, I had really chalked it up to be, okay, I'm going to learn all I can about business because clearly I'm not going to end up in anything to do with fitness and anything to do with science. So why not pivot and learn all that I can? Right. I had heard over and over again before I actually got out of college, take a business class. It doesn't matter that you're doing training. The more you can know in business, the absolute better. And I was like, whatever. Sure.
Transfer those skills. Yeah.
Yeah. So jumping into this, I had really high hopes about learning the operations side, learning the management side, learning the accounting side, learning the HR side, all of it. And what I ended up doing was trying to speak Spanish all day long from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every single day and giving these roofers advice about roofing. And you know what? I think I've blocked all of it out, to be honest, because it was a tragic experience.
Yeah, it was not the best experience. I feel like, we both thought it was definitely going to be something different. But in terms of, I feel like this is what really propelled you into where you are now. So we had to go back because I think it's like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So when you made that decision, you were like, okay, I know I'm going to have to get out of this. You went to then do what? Something in travel, right?
Yeah, I worked at a luxury river cruise line for 3 months. Yeah, like I told you, I've done everything.
Yeah. This is great.
Fitness, roofing, travel, who knows? And now what do I do? Still don't know.
We'll hopefully define that.
Maybe we'll get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hit a wall within roofing, and I called up Darci, and I was like, so when do you get your commission? Because I want to stay until that point. And she was like, 3 months. It's fine. And I was like, okay, I'm quitting right now.
Yeah, she was a homie. So if you don't know, as a recruiter, the recruiter gets paid by the company that you place the person at. So because I placed Harley there, I got paid by that company, but they only pay me if she sticks it out at least 3 months. So she literally called me and was like, please don't tell me I have to stay here a year. I'm like, no, girl, 3 months, you're good. You can quit.
You're good. Yeah. So I had been looking for a job for a couple of months, and I had a really hard time finding something because, like I said, I had arrived there at 6 a.m. and I left at 6 p.m. every single day, day in, day out. I had an hour-long commute, and I was so drained. I was so exhausted. I was disrespected every single day. I was called names by the roofers. It was fully sexist. I was being harassed all the time. Management didn't care. I'm not even going to go down that wormhole even further, but I had a really hard time finding another job that was at the level that I wanted it to be. So when I found this contracted full-time job in the travel industry, I was like barely making ends meet with this job. It wasn't a great fit. It was a random account manager job where I could clock in, clock out, and it was a 8-minute walk from my house.
Nice.
So I was sold.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was bored out of my mind.
Yeah. And then didn't something big happen?
Oh, yeah. You like mean the pandemic? The panini?
Yeah.
There's a little panini that happened and travel shut down.
Yeah. And this is where
I said, you know what? How about I jump into Instagram?
Yeah, because why not? That makes perfect sense.
Because I'm a true millennial, and I said, let's start a blog.
Oh my gosh. So you started with a blog?
I did not start with a blog. I said that I was going to. And
then you just started taking pictures of yourself instead?
Yeah. I started taking bikini pictures, and that was that.
Yeah.
No. That is kind of how it went. But
I believe when I looked her back up on LinkedIn, I saw, and then I went to her Instagram. I think the first picture I saw was you in a bikini and UGG boots, and I was like, she's a true influencer.
I am a true influencer on top of a freaking mountain.
Yes.
Yeah. So I originally did want to start a blog, and that was because I wanted to talk about all of these passions that I was using as escapism from these jobs that I didn't like.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about travel. I wanted to talk about health and wellness. I wanted to talk about fitness and, everything under the sun, but I couldn't think of a name. So I was like, whatever. I will put the blog on hold. I can write blog posts.
Yeah.
But I'm going to jump into Instagram. I'm going to learn how I want to talk to an audience. I'm going to learn what resonates with an audience, and I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
And so I started posting regularly, and it was super awkward in the beginning, and I just started growing from there.
So when you kind of transitioned into getting brand deals from companies, when did that happen? Did they reach out to you? Did you have to reach out? Did you know how to do that? Because now obviously you coach on this, you have the experience, but what was that like first initial, when that started happening for you? What did that look like?
It was very fake it till you make it. And originally it was, the random bikini companies, the random sustainable whatever things that I was interested in. And I had just reached out and I would say, you know, I would love to chat about working together or like getting products sent to me, trying it out, all gifted stuff, not getting paid for anything.
Right.
And as companies started getting interested, I started learning more of the ropes and understanding, oh, wait, we can get paid for this. I actually don't need the ton of stuff that's sitting on my dining room counter right now that I need to, you know, provide a service for them with.
Right.
I can get paid for this.
Nice. That's awesome.
I probably had around 10K at this point.
10,000 followers was when, and then what was your first deal? Like how much money did you make when you actually got paid?
I made a whole $50.
What did you have to do?
To promote a necklace. This was when Instagram was all pictures.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lie, but people
we're
still
into
slow.
the video.
We're slow on the uptake, with Reels. So it was just a picture in this necklace, not this one, but you get the point. And
$50.
And $50. And I was, you better believe I was sweating as I sent off that number. I was like, actually, I charge for this service and it's $50.
And you're like so nervous to even send that.
Yeah.
And now you own your own.
Like, that's 20K, please.
Right. So now you have more followers. You start to do this as a normal, basically your job, right?
Yeah.
'Cause you're no longer working in the travel industry.
Yes.
You dive in full time.
Yes. So by about 12K, I had replaced my 9-to-5 income.
That's unbelievable.
With partnerships.
With 12K. Like
12K.
everyone. Yeah. I think our producer has about 12K over there. It's not easy. I feel like there's people out there with 50K, 100K that are not making near that money.
I talked to a client probably about a year ago that had 1 million on Instagram, 2 million on TikTok, was making $0.00.
And that's just because she doesn't know how to work it, right?
People come to us all the time. I have 400K on TikTok. I make $0.00. It's a starving actor kind of vibe.
And so let's just bring this full circle really quick. Your experience in business maybe brought you to where you are today. The perfect pivot. Okay, so then you start to see that this is this can happen for multiple people. You start having these conversations with people like me. I started growing, and then when was it? Was it last year or this year that you started your All Influence social media agency or management company? Which way do you?
Agency. Yeah. So we started All Influence Management about this time last year. I think we really started bringing on new clients from me. We started, my business partner is a podcast producer. So he had a couple of podcast clients that we started out with.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Can you explain exactly what a social media agency does?
Yes. So we are basically a talent agency, what you think of for an actor, where we will bring on these clients, bring on these influencers, whether they're YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, and we will manage all of their partnerships as well as talk shop, talk business, and how to take their brand to the next level.
Nice. Okay. And in case you guys didn't know, she is my management company.
I am.
Yeah. She handles all my partnerships. And so when you're out and about and you're introducing yourself to people and they say like, Harley, what do you do? How do you introduce yourself?
I say, I'm an influencer.
It's like a bad word nowadays, which is so ridiculous. But
it really comes off like a dirty word, and it sucks. It sucks because realistically, influencers are business owners. We're entrepreneurs. We're freelance entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And it has such a bad inclination, and there's so many questions that come after I'm an influencer. Like my God, if I told Larry at the dog park the other day that I'm an influencer, what would he say?
He's like, is your dog part of it? You're like, yes, in every reel. Yeah. So do you not lead with, I run a social media agency?
Now I do.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm actually very glad that I can say I own a talent agency at this point.
Right.
Because it's easier.
How many people are in how many talent?
We have about 30 that we.
Wow, that's a lot. Oh my gosh. So you don't do this all by yourself. You have a partner.
Absolutely not. I have a team.
You have a team, right?
I have an Erin, and I have
Erin.
I have a business partner.
Erin runs like all of the PR pretty much that comes in. She handles the emails. So it's the three of you.
Yes, it's the three of us. It's myself and my business partner, and we are actually an amazing match. We met because I was actually on a podcast that he was producing, and he stopped me after, and he's like, hey, so I might have something that we should chat about together.
You sound smart. Let's talk. That's a compliment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And how it worked out, I have no idea, because I've heard so many horror stories about business partners.
Yeah.
And legal stuff coming, and
I think
bad.
Best case scenario, he wasn't like a friend. He was somewhat of a stranger, right? Like you knew him from business world of podcasting. And yeah, going into business with friends can be tricky.
Scary.
Obviously you can't always trust strangers, but it seemed like you guys both had very similar interests and different ways of working, which I think is a huge...
such different ways of working. Yeah, I think that was the biggest success of working with him, is that honestly, he has the same skill set as my husband, and my partnerships in work and at home are very, very similar. He handles all of the finance. He handles all of the logistics stuff, and I can be the easy breezy, creative hurricane that I am.
That's so nice. So you truthfully have a work husband.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us, what is the coolest thing you've ever worked on? And that can be you personally, or it can be through your agency.
Oh, you know what? I feel like this is going to be a lame answer, but I love the startup world, and there's so much new technology coming right now that the number of market research gigs and consulting things that I've done recently with new investor-backed apps or platforms or anything like that is really cool. There's a couple new apps coming out probably in the next year, and I wish I could give more. I wish I could give more specifics. Like,
signed a few
I can't really tell
contracts.
You all that much, but I just think that's so interesting, because the way that people use social media is evolving so quickly, and the way that creators are putting content out on social media is changing so quickly.
Right.
So being a part of that user experience thing,
I think it's interesting too that it doesn't always have to be a product, because I feel like when Instagram first started, it was like, here, let me influence this necklace or this product or this skincare line, and now it's like, let me tell you about new and interesting market research companies, or for me, it's like job boards or companies like Onomy. Amazing. But really, it's there's so much that has come from the world of Instagram influencing, and obviously TikTok and all the other things, but the ancillary businesses that come through that.
You know what? I love it, because I think the inherent consumerism on Instagram and in influencer marketing, I told you I love sustainability, and it's really tough for me. I do not like the fashion influencer space, because it's so wasteful.
Right.
It's so wasteful. I can't stand it. Fashion industry doesn't pay in general, because they can always find another girl that'll take free clothing. And then at the end of the day, what are you doing? You're just promoting people to buy trash fast fashion.
Totally.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I think it's amazing that this world is evolving, and you really do have to lead with value. I mean, you're sitting over here as a career coach and have grown so much in the last year.
Yeah.
And you're not leading with a product.
Definitely not.
You know, you're not leading with pretty pictures. You're leading with your brain. And that's cool.
Totally. I don't know if I could do a pretty picture. I don't think that's in my repertoire, but one time I went and tried to like pose, and Harley was like, "Can you not do your face like that?"
She started juggling oranges.
I was juggling oranges. Like, that was my go-to. And I was like, oh, Harley, get this one. I would like lay on the floor like this. She was like, can we not? Okay, so let's talk money. I want to know about what's the most money you've ever made on a deal. And this can be from agency too, but and if you can share the company, share it, or just the industry.
Yes. So this is kind of the cool thing about influencer marketing, because influencers get a bad rep for getting paid a lot and not doing any work. But there's really a lot of behind the scenes nitty-gritty detail that goes into it. Yeah. So probably 6 months ago, we signed a deal with can I say it? A household name car company.
Car company. Okay.
Yeah. let's just go with that. Household name car company. And this influencer was asked for maybe 3 posts, maybe $3,000 worth of posts.
What you would consider to be, $3,000.
Right,
okay.
right. And this deal was $20,000 because they not only wanted this person to post and promote, but they also wanted to run ads across the ether. And you know, if my face is going on a digital billboard across the interweb, then I'm going to get paid for it. So
that's awesome.
I think those are the most fun when it takes a little bit of problem solving. It takes a little bit more work because
there's a whole
it's
contract,
more interesting.
More than just, hey, let me pay you to post on your own platform. Because how many followers did that person have that did the deal?
70K.
Okay, so you wouldn't think, oh, this 70K, because I definitely don't charge that much for posts.
Definitely don't charge
20,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, you wouldn't think that. So that's really cool that it was 20,000.
And it depends on the person. And they probably could have charged more, and it really depends on the budget of the company. It's kind of like playing influencer Tetris. It's like stuffing a U-Haul and trying to get all of these people in there at the right sums and getting it all to work out. So
the worst is when you say, okay, we want 20,000 for this, and they go, okay. You're like, damn, I could have asked for more. They didn't come back with a negotiation.
I think I went in there with 35. So
so you did a good job.
I was like, great, I'll take 20.
Yeah, that's perfect because then you came to, then you can feel like I got this win.
Right.
And I hate when, and they say yes, you're like, next time I'm going higher. I remember when I first started, I was at like 40, I was around 30, 40,000. And I started asking for like, okay, $2,000. And then if someone would say yes, I'd be like, let's try 5,000 next. Like I would just like bounce around and see what happens. And some companies were like, no.
It's really crazy. It's really crazy how this world of influencer marketing is growing and changing because people are starting to get more transparent with their rates. And that used to be so cloak and dagger. So cloak and dagger.
There's no standard. You can't charge by followers.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
And you can up until a point. But there's so much that goes into it, from your engagement and how many views you get to the quality of content and how long it will take. I mean, we just brought on a couple of DIY girls and we were talking about pricing, and they do a lot of furniture commissions. So it's like, I'm going to go find this thrift diamond in the rough, and then I'm going to change the color and the handles and I don't
upcycle.
Know. Right. In other words, upcycle. And so we're talking about them about pricing, and they're like, you know what, I really don't know, because sometimes these projects take weeks. They take weeks. And as much as I would love to say this is an hourly or it's one post, it's not, because I have to create this whole piece of furniture.
Right.
So
it's like you have to be paid for your time, the hourly time. And I feel like you, I don't know what you called it, but you created essentially like an Excel file that breaks down exactly how to charge.
Yes.
That's not just, you can charge by X amount of followers and X amount of engagement.
Right.
Like, there's so much more that goes into it. Usage rights, and if they're going to run ads, and it was the coolest document.
If they don't want you to talk about any other brand, you better believe you're charging more. Exclusivity is a big thing.
How much is that? For anyone listening that wants to go grab it. Our producer needs it.
I'm always just like, sign.
Exclusivity is so hard because it really depends on if you can't recommend something that you're actually going to get or not.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like I can say, okay, I don't want you to post about any kind of snacks, and that's a big category, but am I going to get asked as a agency owner to promote another snack in the next 2 months?
That's like I can charge more if someone is doing a job board, but probably not skincare.
Right.
Even though my skin's flawless, but
but there's so many things that go into it, and there's so many different things depending on the niche you're in, what you're talking about. Skincare even. You have to try the product for 2 weeks before you can post about it.
Yeah. Well, you should. I'm sure there's people out there that don't.
But I run an ethical agency.
Right. So wait, but no, how much does it cost for someone to buy your, what do you call it? Like the tracker that you can actually price yourself?
It's $14.
$14, everybody.
$14 at the link in my bio.
Yeah.
If you want to figure out what micro influencers under about 50K can charge.
Yeah. So
come hang out.
I'm purchasing that.
Ramey's purchasing it. That's so nice. Okay, so what's the dollar amount of the shittiest deal? Like, this is not when you first started, because when you first started, you're gonna get all the shitty deals, right? But what's one where you're like, man, if I could go back, I probably should have negotiated that better. Maybe it was like earlier on.
I have a couple ones. I have one for myself, and I have one for a client. So let's go back to that account with 1 million on Instagram, 2 million on TikTok.
Crazy.
She was like an organizational account. I bet you've seen her on TikTok.
Like folding and like putting stuff away. Okay.
Yep. She's an absolute gem. And she got a message from a craft tape company, and they reached out and they were like, so we want a couple of reels for $100.
Oh my gosh. How do they even do that? Like I don't even know how do they feel about that?
A couple of reels, $100, maybe some craft tape sent through. Like where are you? Do you realize who you're reaching out to? Do you realize that this account has 1 million impressions? Like, it doesn't matter where they are. You see their metrics, you see their views, you see their likes.
And true followers too, because there's views on this. It's not just like bot followers. You can see that she has a ton of views on each post. Yeah.
Viral hits constantly, and on both platforms, she's
wild.
huge.
And there's people out there being like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll take free stuff. I'll take some free tape.
We were talking to a YouTuber the other day, has 400K on YouTube subscribers, and he said, oh, I charge $50 for an ad.
What? Oh my gosh.
It's across the board because people don't know.
That is
people
wild.
don't know.
I see brands that I turn down because they are not paying near as much, and I see like people in my space working with them, and I'm like, wow, I judge a little bit. I'm like, you accepted that, but like, why? It waters down my brand to post something, right? Like when you're pushing out ads and you want to be true to who you are, but also you want to get paid because it's a lot of work.
It's so hard because at the end of the day, you have the privilege to say no.
Right.
So I always get stuck in this. You have the privilege to say no to that. So some people just don't. And at a certain point, your hourly is going to be covered. If I'm at, let's stick to my follower count. I have 35K followers. And if I charge $1,500, am I making the hours involved with that post? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure I am.
Is that pretty much where you charge? Obviously, if it's just a straightforward deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so people kind of understand.
Yeah. $1,500 to like $1,700, depending on what it really is.
Right.
Just for a reel.
Okay.
And that's a, 15 to 30 second video.
Nice. Okay.
But there's so much involved in that. So I really need to think about my getting out of bed rate and the hours involved from, I'm going to think about this for a week. I'm going to think about how I can market it. I'm going to prime my audience for it. You do this a ton. Prime your audience for the ad. I'm going to probably do some market research. I'm going to look for the sound. I'm going to, do all of this ideating before I ever actually get out of bed, do my makeup, do my hair, get ready to film, figure out my lighting, figure out the scripting, do it, send it through.
I think what people don't understand is influencers, to some extent, are essentially actors. And we never bat an eye when these actresses get paid so much money. And they have a production team and they have all this stuff. They're not out here being their own film department. Right.
We're definitely DIY actors and creative directors.
Yeah. Like, I'm so lucky to have Onomy to like help me out with this podcast. And like, I'm sitting here with lights and things like that. But really, if not, like, I'd be sitting in my room and like have really
with
shitty
6
quality
ring lights and
oh my gosh, my first ring light I ever bought, because I'm just cheap, I was like, I can do this on my own, whatever. So I like looked up like a DIY ring light because I didn't want to buy the $30 to $40 that it was.
Out of here.
I bought like one of
those.
I bought like one of those spotlights, and then I used the wax paper and I put it over it and taped it with like electrical tape. And that was what I had as I was filming my videos in the beginning.
I can't. I can't.
I was just like, I quit my job. Like, I don't want to spend money on anything. Like, I'm going to do this, like, you know, and just see what happens. And I definitely was the epitome of like, I burned all my ships. I was like, I'm just going to quit my job and go all in. And no pun intended, all in and all influence. I'm just like plugging away over here. But yeah, I just like, I went for it, and luckily it paid off, and I still think it can be like gone in any second, which I don't know if you feel that way as an influencer. Like, I don't know like where my next paycheck's coming from.
I had nightmares about it for a really long time. When I first was kind of getting rolling and I was trying to build that consistency, it was like, yes, I replaced my income one time, but now I'm starting my business. I'm starting X, Y, and Z. I had these dreams about waking up to 3,000 followers. And I know that sounds so vain and so crazy, because it's like,
it's true though.
Yeah, whatever, 3,000 followers, that's actually kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Comparing it to that's my industry to market to, and if I can't market my stuff, who do I sell? And
now you have a team, so you have to think about like their well-being.
Right.
Like, you're employing people now based on what you can produce as a social media coach, influencer, all the things. And it's like, no pressure.
No pressure.
You're fine.
No pressure.
You're totally fine.
Just burnt out over here.
Yeah. My last question to you is, what is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you at work? And it can be from the roofing days, from the travel days, or from influencing days, but I need an embarrassing story.
Okay, I'm going to bring you back to a work party.
Oh, we love work parties.
And probably
was it pizza?
It's not pizza. It was actually a work event. So this is celebrity training facility. We're throwing this big event.
Can you say who the celebrity is, or is that off the table?
Just celebrities worked there.
Okay.
Worked out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
There you go. So we're throwing this big event. There's a ton of like Rams there. There's a ton of big name athletes there. And I was supposed to run around and small talk and, you know, network the whole night. And we got to the end of the night, and all of my coworkers are, you know, dancing their butts off on the dance floor. And I'm like, oh, we can drink. Great. So my little introvert self is like, I'm done small talking. I'm grabbing champagne. So I probably took a couple too many champagnes.
Okay.
And we're on the dance floor, and a couple things happen. One by one, let's lay them out. First of all, let me backtrack. I was a competitive cheerleader, so dance floors.
You have some,
my jam.
Stage,
And let me also preface this with entertaining myself on a dance floor is probably my bigger priority.
Yeah.
Dancing.
Yeah.
So I'm probably doing something absolutely ridiculous, too big of a move, and then laughing at myself.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Where you're at. Okay.
So my friend that was single at the time got pulled onto the dance floor by this gross, probably underage lacrosse kid that was there.
Nice.
And so I walk up and I'm like, and keep in mind I had a boyfriend at the time. I walk up and I was like, no, you're not doing that. Go away. So I start dancing with him. He spun me. I land right on my butt in front of my boss.
Oh my gosh.
He turns to the kid and glares at him like he is a naughty dog that needs to go sit in the corner. I get up, scurry away, find some pro basketball players to hang out with, and say, so look what I can do.
Oh, God.
I can drop it like it's hot and clap my thighs.
Oh, my God. Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have this video of me like really, really in depth talking to him and then turning around and being like,
oh my
drop
God.
it, clap.
Oh my gosh. And then like you got a promotion or?
Yeah.
Like, and that's where it all began.
Yeah, and then I think I walked up to the owner's wife and said, so do you want one of these gift boxes that the party favors that they're giving out? And she goes, no.
Oh my gosh. You're like, I need more champagne.
I was like, I don't want to talk to you.
Oh, I love that. I mean, I understand a dance floor. I do the worm at every wedding. I think I did it at yours.
Yeah.
I know I did. So we're one and the same. But I don't drop it like it's hot. I do the worm. Maybe it's a little different. Okay, I have a game for us. It's, you know the game Smash or Pass?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go through the line here, rapid fire style. Ready?
Okay.
No context. Okay. Gluten.
Pass. Wait, that's right.
Yeah.
Smash or pass?
Yeah.
Pass.
Airports.
Smash.
Sliding into DMs.
Pass.
Okay. Loud music.
Pass.
Oh, networking events.
Pass.
I didn't even plan that.
Pass.
Roofing companies.
Pass.
Gluten-free bagels.
Pass.
Oh, content creation.
Smash.
The desert.
Smash.
Social media coaching.
Pass.
I like it. I like it. Owning a talent agency.
Smash.
There we go. Okay.
Smash.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. This was so much fun. I feel like I just talked to you without the mics here at all. Can you do the thing where you tell everyone where to find you? Because I couldn't.
Can you do the thing where you clap your thighs together?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Do it.
I don't know if in this jumpsuit.
Oh my gosh. Then you'd have a new embarrassing story because your pants will rip. Likely. You're
You
thinking
can
about
find
it.
me.
You can find Harley at.
You can find me at the Harley Jordan on Instagram, as well as All Influence Collective on Instagram and allinfluencemgmt.com, as well as, I told you, multi-hyphenate, I do far too much all the time, Brand Meet Creator podcast.
It's a really good podcast. If you like this episode, she does a full deep dive into like influencing, content creation, all of this stuff. And yeah, I listen to it every week. So, and that's not just because I'm your friend. I just actually listen.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I really like the podcast because we can really discuss all of these topics that have been so cloak and dagger.
Right.
Yeah.
Into the weeds of it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. We got down and dirty, although you didn't get down and dirty, but it's okay.
Maybe after.
But thank you. Tune in next week for our next guest. Thanks, Harley.